So today's question is, should we go to film school or not? One of these questions we can ask a bunch of different people and we are guaranteed to get a bunch of different answers. Now, at the end of the day, though, it's really going to come down to you, because my story, my journey, and how I got here is going to be very different than, say, the next 10 other people that you ask. So yes, one person might say to go do it or not go do it, but we really got to ask ourselves so many more questions over and above, should we just go to film school or not? And so I want to try and take a few minutes to just have as unbiased of a conversation about this as possible to set you up for the most success in this industry that we know and love and enjoy so very much. Film schools can be so expensive as well. So we really want to make sure that we're making the right decision. And even, are we even picking the right film school to go to? Because there are a lot of different film schools that offer different programs in different ways and have different helpful hookups. So one of the things I encourage a lot of people to do to start is to just find out, what do you even have an industry, a film industry local to yourself? What does that even look like? Do you have a thriving industry, or is it really far away? Do you have to commute? I know I have to commute 2 to 3 hours a day to be able to get to my industry. The industry changes so much based off the city, the state, the province, or even sometimes the country that you live in. It can vary a lot. And so we really want to try and understand what it is that our industry looks like around us. Because no matter what, you're going to have to do this anyways once you're done school. So best to do that beforehand. So not only is there no surprises, but once again, you're setting yourself up for some success. And I know it takes time. I know it's a pain. I know we don't want to do that. We just want to have a yes or no answer. But I strongly encourage you to check these things out. It honestly won't take as much time as you think it will to be able to just do some Google searching, some social media searching, just look online and see what is available to you, just because it changes so much based off of where you live, and are you prepared to even commute? Do you need to commute, or is another film school better set up in another area if you have to travel to give you that better job, because there's a more thriving community, in the next state or province over from yourself? So do some research, check that out, and see what's available in the job industry or in the film industry that's around you. I would also suggest, do you even know what you want to do at the end of the day in the industry? And if you say no, that's a perfectly good answer. There's, we all hear about the top 5 jobs or whatever, directing, producing, video editor, camera, DOP, those types of jobs. But there are hundreds of jobs out there in the industry, that bet you probably aren't even quite well aware of. And so I would say, if you don't know what you want to do, that's great. Film school is set up to be able to expose you to a number of those different types of jobs, help you network, be able to make some connections, and be able to learn a bit more of the industry. I would also say and suggest going straight into the film industry as well is also an option if you don't know what it is that you want. There's lots of high school students that I meet that have gone straight into the film industry. There's lots of people that I've seen and come across that are doing a career change and go straight into the film industry at the end of the day, and don't necessarily do the film school based off of what it is that they want to do or don't want to do. And so I would also encourage you, what is your learning type, right? If you learn better in a classroom setting, then that's awesome. Go to film school for that. If you learn better in that structured environment, then that's great. If you learn better, more hands-on, more practical, then I would encourage you to go straight into the film industry, because they're going to be able to teach you some of those things on a practical level to be able to do that. If you do know what you want to do, awesome. That's great. That's a great first step. Congratulations. I would then ask one further question from that. what kind of a job is that you want to do? Is that a specialty based job, right? Is that something like, you want to be a director, producer, DOP, video editor, audio engineer, something like that, where a school is going to be set up to really teach you well how to be able to prosper and focusing on that type of a department, right? Or is it a job that you're looking at being more of like a gaffer, lighting, grip, or a key grip in the grip department, transport, stunts, special effects, props, greens, those types of jobs and positions, I would encourage you to take a look at more going straight into the industry for, because it's a lot more practical learning, because there's so many variable options and there's so much time, hands-on learning to be able to get in and figure out those departments. Another question I would encourage you to ask is, will a film diploma help you get a job or beat out somebody that doesn't? Personally, I've not found this to be the case in most times. There are jobs out there that, yes, a film degree or diploma can help you get a job. Very small percentage of jobs are out there. You could also be a part of the very small percentage of people that graduate from film school and you are the next Steven Spielberg, you're the next Jerry Bruckheimer, you're next big actor, and good on you. I'm really happy for you. But for the vast majority of us, when we graduate from film school, it's really going to be down to, what is your work ethic going to be like? How hard are you willing to put yourself out there? Are you going to be able to hustle? Like, are you going to be able to do jobs that you don't think, like would you be a PA or a production assistant, right? Would you be a daily or weekly spot, right? Like, those are going to be some of your first jobs that you're going to be looking for, honestly, when you get out. If you're not a part of that small percentage of people that really succeed and thrive right away, that's what a lot of your work is going to look like when you graduate from film school. You're also not going to be getting a salary job when you graduate, right? Where there's very few jobs you can apply for where you're going to be making 50, 75, or 100K a year. A lot of it is going to be hustling for that next daily job, that next weekly or that next show call type of thing, right? Or are you even just finding your own work? Are you going out there starting up your own production company or drumming up your own work, doing wedding videos or music videos and stuff like that, right? And so take a look and think what is going to be outside or after that. I also really strongly encourage you to get on set, any set right now, tomorrow, or while you're in film school. Do not wait until you are done film school to get on a set that's bigger than what you're normally on. And what I mean by that is a lot of anything that's larger than you and your buddies going out and making your own independent film shoots or short films or your own independent productions. I used to have a program where I used to bring out high school students with me on commercials and movies and TV shows and stuff like that, to give them an opportunity to experience what it's like to be on a film set that is larger than what they're used to. And also, is this an industry that they want to get into? We see stuff behind the scenes, but is that really what it's like? We want it to look like that, but is it really what it's like? And so at one time in particular, I brought these two students out, and the one student had a great time. He really thrived. He did really well. He was so excited for it. He was like, I'm doing film school. I'm starting out my own production company. I'm working for free. I don't care what I'm doing. I want to keep doing this. This is a lot of fun. The other student, however, he really struggled. It was a lot more work than he was expecting. It was a lot more stressful than he had thought it was going to be. The industry in general wasn't quite what he had imagined it to be. And so at the end of the day, he was still thankful that he did that, because in one 12-hour day on a commercial, he discovered he didn't want to go to film school. He didn't want to spend thousands of dollars or potentially years of his life pursuing a career that what he thought was one thing ended up being something totally different. And so get on a film set that's larger than what you're currently on. Don't wait until the end, just to make sure that you know what it is that you're getting yourself into. It changes so wildly, and there's so many different experiences that we all have. So get on out there, start experiencing, start checking that out. We see that when we look at the industry as a whole, that in some cases, a diploma or degree can be helpful for us. It can set us up for some success. But at the same time, we don't always need to have a degree or diploma for us to be able to work in the industry, that there are a lot of other options out there as well. And so when we're looking at a film school, take these things into consideration. Look at the film schools themselves. Make sure that they're going to offer you the value that you need to succeed in this industry. Don't just take the first thing. Don't just take the first answer. Look into it. Do the research. Once again, I know it's annoying. Research is a pain to have to do, but trust me, you're going to have to do this at some point. So better to do that now before you graduate and spend all this money. Now, brings me to our last thing of what do we do once we're done film school? How do we get a job? Well, stay tuned for our next episode where we dive into just that question.